In a world where tomorrow's blockbusters reign,
three millennials look back on our generation's classics.
Our generation's classics,
And remember. Hey everyone, welcome to Millennials the Movie House, the podcast where three friends watch our generation's beloved movies of yesterday and review them from our modern adult perspective. I'm Betsy.
And I'm Tracy.
And we have no Serena. We're going to have to do the episode without her. But she will be back next time.
Life gets hard sometimes.
Life does get hard sometimes, which is totally understandable. All right. So.
Yes, Bets. What did the big calculator in the sky say we had to watch for this week?
A piece of crap is what it had us do. The movie was Get a Clue from 2002. Directed by Maggie Greenwald, written by Alana Sanko, starring Lindsay Lohan. Bug Hall, that's a heck of a name. Bug Hall, man.
It's a nickname. His name is Brandon.
Okay. Still not great. Brenda Song, Ian Gomez, etc., etc. We're gonna have to go back old school. Quick synopsis, Tracy, go.
So I gotta be honest, because this movie was so bad, I had a real hard time paying attention.
That's fair. Do you want me to do the synopsis?
Oh, okay. I mean, I got it if you don't want to do it, but if you want to give it a go, Betsy, go.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it simple. So Lindsay Lohan plays Lexi Gold, who wants to be a reporter. And what?
This is a tangent. They are not subtle with names.
Oh God,
like
no.
They're real. Like, oh, she's the rich girl. She's going to be Lexi Gold,
right? Which I have comments about.
Detective Meanie.
Meanie.
Like it's
Oh yeah, it's laughable.
Like she had a draft. They're like, oh, we'll fill this in later, and they kept all of like the same. Anyway,
yeah, no,
continue.
I got you. Yes, she's the rich girl who wants to be a hard-hitting reporter. She ends up doing a gossip piece, basically, which makes like the actual, newspaper. Come to find out, one of the guys, whether the male teacher who was involved in that article was on the run, and so he has to fake his own, disappearance or whatever. But
you know where he hides?
At his mom's house. He had given a fake name somehow magically. It's fine. Anyway, the extremely awkward love interest side of this is Jack. Of course, his name is Jack. It's the early 2000s. All heroes are named Jack. That's the rule.
Yeah, placeholder name for the other person, Jack.
Yep. He's the scholarship kid, so he's from the other side of the tracks, literally. It's Brooklyn. And and yeah, so they solve some crimes in high school because that's how that works. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bad, guys. It's bad. So
real bad.
Before we jump into this, I want to preface this with the fact that it's a made-for-TV movie. It's a DCOM. And I think I explained this quickly when it came up what DCOM was, but DCOM is a Disney Channel original movie, which I thought was important to include in our list because the heyday of DCOMs was right around our age.
Yes.
We had some quality DCOMs.
Okay. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
As I was watching this, I had two questions in my head because I thought this was utter trash. Were all the DCOMs that I remember being so good this bad? Because I've never watched this one before.
Fair.
I've never seen this one.
Same. This one was a little bit past what I qualify as my DCOMs, right?
I was 17, so I was a junior, senior. So I was like, so I had two questions, like ultimate questions. I was like, were all DCOMs this bad, even though I remember them being good? And was Lindsay Lohan's acting always so bad?
Oh my God, right?
Because she did Parent Trap before this.
But if you think about it,
was Parent Trap all that great?
Right. Her acting was weirdly the same. And I think we gave allowances for her in Parent Trap because she was a kid. So you kind of, and everybody else was relatively good actors in that movie. So you kind of just give her that allowance. But think of her acting in Parent Trap plus 7 years maybe. And it's the same level of acting. Ooh,
Yeah. Let's see. 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. 4 years.
4 years. Still. Get better at acting,
Has she ever though?
Right, exactly. That's the question.
Because she played the same person in Mean Girls.
Oh my God, yes.
Wait, Mean Girls?
Yeah, Mean Girls.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's that same not great acting.
Yeah.
And everybody else around her is just a good actor. Except in this case, everybody else around her were not good actors.
Yeah. So,
but back to your first question.
Okay, yeah.
I have recently watched The Color of Friendship.
Okay.
So here's a comparison. That is one of the best decoms, period. It is fantastic. And yes, the writing was stilted. The acting wasn't great, but it held. It held.
Was there.
The story was really there. They had a purpose. They had a theme. They were teaching us some stuff.
Yep.
And
so I also wrote down A Color of Friendship because I put that on there as like the ultimate, whatever. I also put on there Brink, Xenon, Halloween
Xenon.
Town. Yeah.
Zetus Lapidus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So those are our reference points.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of them have that like after school special of like, be good and, some sort of message. And this one tried real hard. No, it didn't try at all to have a message of like, and I was like, are we supposed to, at the beginning, are we supposed to not like Lindsay and her friend?
I wrote that down. I wrote it down. I'm like, am I supposed to like Lexi? Because I don't.
As an adult, I don't. Because she's a spoiled brat. She's mean to her sister. She takes advantages of everything and doesn't understand gossip versus reporting.
She's polite.
And then her growth at the end is that she goes bowling. So the rich girl gets over the fact that she has to put on bowling shoes.
Right.
Is her growth.
Right.
And I'm like.
And also, I don't care how rich you are. If you're a New Yorker, you've taken the subway before.
Right.
Like writers, come on. But I'm with you. I just even Jack is not really a likable character because he's so poorly written that there's just not a single redeemable.
His description is eye roll.
Yes.
Yeah. And yes, he is
eye roll in a Brooklyn accent.
I would watch that movie.
I was like, I made a note once he started talking because he had like a few lines that were like one words, and then once he had like a full sentence, I was like, oh, he's doing a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah,
that's really unfortunate.
Do you recognize him at all?
Yeah, he's Alfalfa.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what I know him from is the Little Rascals,
of course.
And his acting as a 6-year-old or however old he was great. It was cute. That was the whole point, is to make these little kids say lines that an adult would say or situation, but funny Little Rascals way.
Yep.
This was not that.
This was not that.
Still acting the same. I feel bad because I think he was adorable. Like he was cute for, what was
he 16, he had wicked Jim Halpert vibes.
Yes.
Season 1 Jim Halpert. Yeah.
Replace those eye rolls with a look to camera.
Exactly. That is exactly what this character is with the Spot Collins accent. That's exactly what this character is.
And they threw everything at him. Not only was he poor, he lived on the other side of the tracks. He was a scholarship kid. His mom worked nights. Granted, she was a good cook and very nice.
And they had a nice house, I gotta say.
For living in New York. Right. And his dad had died. Yeah. So like he threw Lexi, like when she met him, she was like threw her into like, oh, this is how the other half live with a dead dad. And
right. Seriously. Oh my God. But that said, the other half, she's not the other half. She's the daughter of a reporter. Unless the mother is rich, I don't understand how they afford that apartment in Manhattan on the Upper East Side, because a reporter doesn't make that good money.
Yeah.
I mean,
did I catch it? I thought her dad, I know he's a reporter, but I thought her dad said, I have to go to court. Maybe he said I have to go to work and I missed it.
I thought he was a reporter because at the end he was at the press conference with the mayor or governor.
Yeah. No, he was, but I didn't understand why he said that. Maybe I misheard it, but I was like, oh, maybe he's a court reporter. Not that would make him that much money.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't know, except that they definitely did, because at the beginning she has a maid, and
oh yeah, they have staff. Like what?
And this was 2002. I think it was supposed to be modern day, and they're on like a Zoom type thing with huge.
Oh my god! Yes.
I guess my headphones are pretty big.
Yeah.
And it was 90s. I wrote down Clueless because it had that like fashion, like that over fashion that everybody like. If you look up fashion from the 90s, and we all know the 90s didn't stop until like 2005, that's what people wore. And I'm like, that's not what anybody,
not at all.
Even the rich kids in my high school.
Absolutely not. Way too ostentatious, way too like, look at me. And nobody has time and energy to put together an outfit like that at 5:30 in the morning.
Thank you.
Because you had to be at school by 7:55. Like
that was my first note, is the traditional, TV show mantra of being able to wake up and feeling your best, call your friend, discuss an outfit or your day or boys or whomever, then have a sit down breakfast with your entire family.
Yep.
Still make it to school on time. I'm like, I'm rolling out of my bed, throwing on a t-shirt, and my mom is shoving a Pop-Tart in my hand as I catch the bus.
Right.
Like
the most realistic version I've ever seen of that was an episode of Boy Meets World, where the mother had prepared like this huge meal for everybody, and they all come like charging down, running out of the house, like grabbing something on their way, because that's how it actually was. You roll out of bed, you stay in that bed as long as you possibly can.
Yeah. Because inevitably on the back end of this is they always stay up later than they should, because they're always on doing a mission or fighting demons or,
Yeah, seriously. Which goes towards my other comment which was, this was an era when teenagers were written as adults. Like they are adults. They just happen to be in high school. The difference with then and now is that we're just casting adults and having them do adult things as quote unquote teenagers.
That's true. And you know what? I always complain about that. I always hate when high school kids are played by adults, because then they put them in adult situations like solving a crime or whatever, but then they also put them in adult relationships.
Yes.
And that I have some issues with.
And I gotta say, I mean, from that standpoint, the romance is actually correct in this movie. Actually, it was awkward, and you don't really want to be thinking about him, but you are, and do I like peck him on the cheek? Like it was very tame.
But I guess, I mean, it didn't make for good TV watching or movie watching, so maybe that's why they
But, and the other thing to bear in mind is these kinds of movies, the Disney Channel original movies, even though the characters are set in high school, the audience is really middle school.
Yes.
6th, 7th, 8th grade. So of course they're gonna, tone that stuff down.
And it's Disney Channel. Like, I respect that. No qualms here. On that front.
Yep. Absolutely. The other thing, going back to the idea of the unrealistic mornings before school, career week. This is also a trope that I see a lot in school scenes in movies. Mm-hmm. Did you ever have a career week in school where parents came in and talked about what they did for a living? Because I feel like I didn't.
I don't think I did.
And I don't think anybody ever did. I feel like that's one of those things that they made up for movies.
I feel like it's a device to somehow get the parents involved with school.
Sure. That's fair.
I don't know.
But it's funny because like, as I'm watching it, I'm like, I really would have I feel like like that's actually a genuinely good idea if schools don't do that, because it gives you an idea of the different kinds of jobs you could get, or like,
True.
I don't know.
All you know is teacher, doctor, and whatever your parents do.
Exactly. So yeah, public school system, look into that.
All I can say is most parents, especially in the public schools, are working. So they can't take a
How do they take a day off?
Yeah.
Right. So you're probably going to get like the stay-at-home mom. Right. I know. All right. Well, anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, so anyway, all right. I feel like we've been talking and not, actually doing what we're supposed to be doing. So what was your favorite part?
You mean I can't say when it ended?
You can absolutely say that.
I mean, I have written here, she's spoiled, bad acting, mustache question.
Oh my God, I wrote the mustache too. I had to. I wrote, is the mustache meant to make him a kid-friendly detective? It's ridiculous.
Yes.
It goes over it. It reminds me of the type of ambiance that Inspector Gadget, remember the movie Matthew Broderick, yes, Inspector Gadget? That was what I was getting from that guy, which is a different genre than this movie. So that really annoyed me.
Yeah. And as much as I agreed with Lexi's telling him like not to do that, I think it was supposed to, because she's also supposed to be the advice column, is I think it's supposed to show that she's really good at giving advice and knowing what people will like, but she's a dick about it.
Right.
Even though I agree with her, I'm like,
you don't give unsolicited advice. That's just rude.
No.
Yeah. Let's not teach our kids that, please.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it was supposed to be funny, because everybody was thinking it and she said it and we're like, oh, haha, it is stupid. And it was like, no, she's just being a jerk. Yeah. All right. So my favorite part, it's not really a favorite part, but you'll appreciate this.
Oh God.
So it's a story. I was telling a coworker that I was going home to watch Get a Clue, and she is a young millennial.
Oh,
like 10 years younger than me.
Okay.
And as soon as I said that, she goes, oh my God, I loved Lindsay Lohan when I was, you know what I mean? Because she's that much younger, and Lindsay Lohan, even though we're griping about her, had a moment.
Oh, she totally did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that she was perfect timing for that moment. And she started singing the theme song.
Oh my God.
And as soon as she started singing it, I was like, I know that song.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was like, maybe I have seen this movie before. And you know what? Maybe I have seen this movie. I have no recollection of it whatsoever.
But I mean, it's a Disney Channel original movie.
Right.
It could have just been on Disney at a random moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, oh, Betsy, I knew this song.
Oh no.
I knew this song to a point where it stirred a memory in me of
as music does.
As music does. I still was able to somehow unlock a moment in time in the Westerly Walmart music section.
Wow.
Of me picking out this CD.
Oh my God.
Which I still have today.
Holy crap. I need you to know that the only bit of trivia that I read was that they had to change their name from what was it like? Not Xanax. It was Prozac. That's right. It was Prozac.
But spelled funny with like lots of Z's and a K.
Right. Oh my God.
Why do I have the CD, and why do I remember buying it? Like I have a specific moment of asking my mom if she will buy this for me, which she did.
Maybe the song had a moment when it came out.
However, I think what it did have, and maybe like it kind of had a moment where, you know how like, do you remember the little Disney ears, and they were advertising like movies and stuff.
Yes.
I think they had like a music video and like advertisements and stuff. And what our podcast listeners, if they don't remember and can't see me holding up, Simon and Milo were, like I said, they were a band of like real guys, and I think this is what latched me on to it, is their like thing was that their band, Simon and Milo, cartoon characters, had a storyline, and they were on a mission, kind of like in a comic book, and their songs represented this storyline. And let me see if I can read this inside. I can't quite find it, but it's basically like, this is also a CD-ROM that you can put into your computer, and it has like music videos and storylines of like their adventures.
Oh, wow.
So it was like an interactive comic
I was gonna
book,
say,
I think.
I gotta say, that's actually pretty clever marketing. If you have a little bit of momentum, you really need to like be unique. So they tried something different.
So early, and they had a revival, I think, in 2015.
Really?
Yeah. So and other than that song, I don't think I know anything.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
So that was my favorite part, that I could go down memory lane.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna post a picture of this, because it's like,
if anybody was going to randomly own the CD of the theme song, it would be you.
Yep.
To a movie you've never seen.
Never seen.
Okay.
Or I've blocked it from my memory if I have.
Right. I actually didn't hate the soundtrack of this movie. I did not like the score of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to specify, it was during the climax of the movie, the chase through the hotel, the hijinks that's happening in the hotel, and you had this barely set, like noticeable score happening that completely dampened the entire scene, to the point where I was like, what is happening with the score right now? Like, there was just no just like or anything.
Yeah,
like
no, I get it. There's no like
there was nothing to like help you with your emotion in that moment, and it was weird. It was weird.
It was so badly troped, like they're hiding behind a plant and hiding behind a newspaper and like going through one door and coming out the other type chase scenes. And it was just
right. But like, okay, so
bad.
that scene where you have the still camera and you have people running in and out of frame, that's supposed to be a little comical, or like you speed it up a little bit, or you do the like there's certain music that you assign to that moment. There was no music. They didn't speed it up. They didn't do any jump cuts, which is also normal in that moment. They just didn't know what to do. It was weird.
Maybe they all phoned it in for this one.
I think they may have. But
like I said, they did. So I'm of two minds. Do I go back and prove them wrong that there were some good ones? Like you did you picked the creme de la creme of a movie to pick.
I did.
Or do I let it go and just let it live in my memory? And
the other one that I have, the other one I have seen relatively recently, which is also one of the top ones, is Halloween Town.
Yes, that has. Although
it has its own little niche, and
it's first off, it's a holiday movie.
But it's aware of it, and I gotta say, like you have Debbie Reynolds in it, like you're gonna have some quality with that. And I gotta say, if I recall correctly, the costumes and the makeup were really interesting. Like, so you had visual elements there. Halloween Town holds up.
Yeah.
The one that I would be nervous to try, but also I remember it being my personal favorite, was Brink.
Yeah, same.
But I have not watched Brink in 20 years. Easy.
Yeah. I may be recalling it wrong, but I feel like the main character was the new guy, the wrong side of the track type guy. And he right? Am I remembering that correctly?
In
Brink? Was he? Or was he?
No, I don't think he was new guy.
Oh, okay.
I think he was there was definitely like a class divide because his group was unsponsored and they hated the sponsored guys.
Okay.
But then he
All right.
ended up on the sponsored team. And so it was like a
that's right.
betrayal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm going to have to. Eric Von Detten. Oh my
Eric
gosh.
Von Detten.
What I was trying to say is I feel like Get a Clue, I feel like having the main character be the rich one that learns a lesson is harder to like than the opposite.
Yes, except that they didn't push the idea that she needed to learn a lesson
Right.
enough.
Exactly.
So,
like you can have that. You can have the rich person learn a lesson or whatever, and it wasn't conveyed enough and she wasn't likable enough. Usually the person either learns a hard lesson real quick that she's been acting like a you know what, or they're oblivious, they're innocent, so they're like they're nice, they're just genuine people, but they just don't know how privileged they are.
right.
I don't know this movie.
They were trying too many things with it, and so nothing came across. Because if you think about movies where you're dealing with wrong side of the tracks, you know, love stories, that love story is the primary focus of that movie. So to have it be not even a B plot, it was like a C plot.
Yeah.
Because I would argue that the B plot romance is actually the teachers.
Yeah.
Which also they were in a genre of their own too. My God, that was melodramatic and weird.
So they were also the whole cast, like that wasn't the young kids, were not attractive people,
but I recognize most of them.
I do too. Quality actors, like
and honestly, I'm actually okay with it because like I could definitely see those as actual, like those are my teachers. Okay, so do you remember, have you listened to Home Alone?
Yeah.
We talked about the idea of kids in movies doing insane engineering tricks and stuff.
Yes. Yep.
Enter Lexi's sister.
Yep.
Who I'm like, oh, there's the designated child to do all those things. But she doesn't invent everything. She just buys everything. And
at the convenience store called the Spy Shop.
Spy Shop. Yep.
That sells spy equipment. How, like,
I you know what, I almost made a note making fun of that, but then I was like, you know what, we've been to the Spy Museum and they definitely had a gift shop with spy equipment in it.
Yes.
But it was like fun. It was like joke.
It was no, I accept that those things exist, but I feel like they would be either at a toy shop,
yeah,
at a like hidden section in like, I don't know, another like an electronic
store. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and also like all the stuff that the little sister had in her room were the most like neon 2002 colorful girly things. I'm like, you're not getting that
everything
from...
a spy needs to, hide.
Right, exactly. I want to take a moment and appreciate. Oh, I haven't given my favorite part yet.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, what is yours?
I mean, I say that as if I had a favorite part.
Right.
I hate saying this, but it's got to be the 2002-ness of it. There were pagers, there were bad cameras. She had her hair crimped at one point.
Yep. And then she had butterfly clips. I actually did like the butterfly clips she had because they weren't too many and they weren't too big.
Yep.
So I thought they looked cute.
Yep. But like even
compared
like
to
the fur crop shrugs and oh god, just the loud patterns, just everything. It was beautiful. I found it very interesting that they really made a point of driving home the fact that her mother is not dead. She's just away on business.
And I'm like, they mentioned it so many times. And then I was like, would things have not progressed this way if she had a mom at home? Like, I don't understand.
Well, no, I think it was that they wanted to make sure that she wasn't the sad character because Jack was the one who lost the parent. So
Right.
She has to be privileged by having both parents. But yeah, you're right. Like the mother wouldn't let this stuff stand, I guess. I don't know why the mother had to be absent.
I mean, maybe they had to explain why her and her dad had a close relationship. But I'm like,
it made sense because he was the reporter. So she's asking him reporter questions.
I don't.
Okay. It was weird.
It was weird.
All right. Well, for it being the first DCOM, I am so disappointed that we got that one. Hopefully we'll get some better ones in the future. I mean, should I even ask Martini Shot?
Yeah.
Martini Shot, would you recommend this movie?
No,
never. No, let it die. Let it like.
There's even better Lindsay Lohan movies out there.
There really are. There really are.
There's better DCOMs. There's better everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, then what else? What else are you watching?
Well, this was on Disney Plus. So while I was on there, for some reason, my TikTok, I've been watching a lot of clips from Hidden Figures. I don't know how or why, but
great movie.
It's a great movie, but I had never watched it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sit down and watch this film. And I mean, I knew it was a great, I just knew it. And it was so good.
It's I find that I have less of an attention span to sit down and pay attention to a movie. So this is
coming from Betsy.
I know. So I save a lot of movies for when I want a movie that, like, when I want to pay attention, I want to save it. Hidden Figures is one of those movies where you want to be like actually paying attention to that movie.
I know. I carved out time, meaning I was probably ignoring other things. Right. And I actually watched this movie and it was fantastic.
It's a great movie.
Yep.
So things that I have watched. So I finally watched Fleabag after many years of people telling me to watch Fleabag.
Yep. How did that go?
I loved it. So it's only 16 episodes, so 2 seasons of 8 episodes, half hour each. Like it is, I watched it in like one day. So season 1 was okay, entertaining, like it was enough to get me into season 2, and then season 2 was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I recommend that to everybody.
Okay. I've heard that, and again, the hips are coming out. Everybody likes it, so I don't want to watch it.
The fact that it's already come and gone, I think the hipster in you might be able to allow that, since it's like very passé now.
Yep.
Just saying.
That's fair.
The other show I marathoned through, and I have a lot of comments on.
Okay, let's see.
Called The Search Party.
Oh, so okay. I've never heard of it.
It's been on my list for a long time. I found it on HBO Max. The first 2 seasons aired on TBS. The last 3 seasons were HBO Max originals.
Wow. Okay.
So 5 seasons altogether. And it just ended.
The perfect amount of seasons for a TV show.
It is and it isn't. This show should have ended after season 3.
Oh.
And I would recommend this show to anybody and everybody for only the first 3 seasons. Stop watching after season 3. So it's about hipster millennials in New York City. Who, yes, millennials, yes, we're bringing us back around. Who are your quintessential hipster millennials, right? And they discover that an acquaintance of theirs from college goes missing, and they get it into their heads that they have to solve this crime and they have to go find her. I don't know. I don't really want to give too many spoilers, but like the plot progresses and other things happen. And so it's like the snowball effect of other things happening. And the main character goes through this character arc that is just fascinating.
Okay.
Fascinating.
All right.
Because so I highly recommend it, but stop after season 3. And you see where they're prepping you for season 4. Just ignore that part of it. And just, All right. I think it might be time to figure out what the next movie is going to be. Are we ready for this?
All right. I don't trust this. No.
I know. Now I have lost all faith in this generator. Oh, but I'm a cheerleader. So
what is that?
It is a movie. This is an elder millennial movie.
Okay.
I just watched it for the first time like 2 weeks ago. So this is going to be interesting.
Okay.
And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Oh,
but I'm a cheerleader.
I don't think I've ever even heard of it. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
That was your NPR voice.
It was. If you like what you hear, you can find more great episodes over on our website, www.millennialsofthemoviehouse.com, or wherever you find your podcasts. Curious about updates, extras from our episodes, or want to add your 2 cents about a reviewed movie? We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle for both is @themoviemillies. Check us out and make sure to follow us. So until next time,
we're millennials, and we'll see you at the movie house.
house.
God damn it. Almost.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad.